power of God and the providence of God. If we believed in our God, we would not play at being God. His providence is there. And it actually is quite amazing, but we can't see it. We still prefer to do just a little bit of worrying, just in case he can't quite manage it. It would give us huge freedom and rest if we knew how to recline as he told these people on the ground to do before the power of God. Multiplication of food still does happen. I had here a while back someone that had been involved with down and outs in Spanish Harlem, and it would happen in her hands, and she checked it. It was. I remember being moved by testimonies given in the ambit of the charismatic renewal in France in the 80s. It was happening there too. With regard to movements that came out of France in the 70s and 80s, the advice given by Gamaliel was actually valid. I remember hearing this from a wise French priest with regard to canon law in the context of these new movements. La loi suit la vie. Law follows life. And his line was, observe and don't try to control God. Gamaliel was therefore advising to back down and observe and give time. If something were of God, it would be blessed and would go on, and they would be found fighting against God. If the contrary were true, it would come to an end of its own accord. There were strong movements that came out of that period that are still with us. Le Chemin Neuf, the Jerusalem community, moines en ville, monks and nuns living in cities with beautiful liturgy, and so on. And they have this in common, that they used also human beauty to enhance praise, give glory to God, and console souls. Many graces actually have been lost by excessive prudence, which became nothing but human, just caution and fear. Whereas bishops who encouraged took risks and found actually that they were blessed quite often with pleasant surprises, able to think a little bit out of the box, and things started to happen. There are bishops here and there who have been very good at discerning and good at encouraging, and they have found over the years that things have started to happen where they were saying yes, whereas other bishops have been constantly saying no, and things have not moved on. And even worse, human strategies have been invented from human motives, whereas the Spirit himself was actually at work It was not picked up in time. What comes through is that authenticity is a hallmark of the work of the Spirit. Where there is charity, where there is truth in worship and teaching, there are certain safeguards. When there is much of the human, there is need for caution. Today, we need to have that attitude of Gamaliel, discernment, and also that attitude of the disciples who just calmly obeyed the commands of the Lord, told the people what to do, and let the master be master. I remember hearing years ago, in a moment there, in university days, just word of knowledge that came when we were at prayer. There are some here who are concerned about financial needs. The Lord was saying it wasn't a problem for him. He didn't want us worrying about that. Lord, give me eyes open, wide open, to see your hand at work, and faith, true faith, to know what is of you, what is your teaching and truth, and to let you be Lord, Lord of all. Viverum corpus natum de Maria Virgine, venere passum immolatum in cruce pro homine, cuius natus perforatum fluxit aqua et sanguine, estor nobis pregustatum mortis examine. O Iesu dulcis, O Iesu pie, O